Hello, and you are tuned in to another segment of A Journey with Women Who Boss Up. This is where I have conversations with women who rise above and become bosses. These women have a sense of confidence and awareness about where they stand in this world. They handle their business and authentically love what they do. Now, my guest today is Ambie Bell. Ambie, how are you today?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I am great. Now, Ambie is a passionate advocate, community organizer, and change agent who has dedicated her life to empowering others. Whether she's serving as the planning commissioner for the city of Ben Harbor, sitting on the board of Corewell Health, or leading as the executive director of Emerge Innovation Hub, Ambie brings her unique blend of leadership, compassion, and drive to every endeavor. And on any given day, you'll find Ambie somewhere in Michigan spreading hope, positivity, and action as she builds a better future for all. Now, anywhere in Michigan, because we were just talking off mic.
Yeah.
What you just do this past weekend?
Well, I was supposed to go to Detroit to the Wayne State game. But then we had tickets from Michigan versus U of M. But I sent my kids without me, and I played hooky from being a mom a little bit. And I was able to go to Kalamazoo, and I had the opportunity to see Kamala Harris and Michelle Obama.
That had to be an amazing time.
It was hopeful. It was magical. It was inspiration.
And you said it was a sold-out event.
It was. I think there were 8,000 people there.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yes, it is for Kalamazoo.
You got lucky and got a ticket.
Thank God. Somebody loves me.
Exactly. And with all right here that you do, I'm sure you got a lot of people that love you and support you. Change agent, advocate. Love it. Let's start off by asking, what was life like for you growing up?
In reality, I'm just a girl from little old Benton Harbor. But for me, life was amazing growing up. It was filled with love, family. My father was, he still is a pastor. So I grew up a PK. He was also a sheriff deputy.
Oh, wow.
So it was the best of both worlds because I got to see him fighting for people to just live a righteous life in the midst of so much adversity. And at the same time, as an officer, once I became older, I got to hear from so many people whom he helped just how to fight the system and stay free as black men and black women growing up in this very different climate in Berrien County. But my mom was a beautician, so she was an entrepreneur. She always had her own salon, and she had stylists work for her. So I grew up very well-rounded. Grandparents, family, church family. I had a very amazing and blessed, free upbringing.
Okay, great. So you said your mother was an entrepreneur, which I'm sure led you to become an entrepreneur. Now, you founded Our Sustainable Solutions in 2015, where you have helped over 24 businesses thrive. Now, tell us about that. What made you want to start your own business, and why did you call it Sustainable Solutions?
Of course. So, yes, my mother was an entrepreneur, but so was my father. Our family were responsible for building a lot of different housing developments, and my father is still, it's just what he does in his free time, I guess. He still is a real estate developer. So I watched a lot of grand openings, a lot of groundbreakings. So entrepreneurship came pretty easy for me. Even in college, I still knew that I wanted to do something that was mine, something that was on my own. But that journey came difficult.
Okay.
That journey came, it came in its own way. It still got here, but it was never something I never expected. I came back home from college. I worked for the school districts, and I bartended on the weekend.
Oh.
And fun. But somewhere along the line, I started having a lot of health issues, and I ended up on dialysis at 22 years old. I had stage 4 renal failure.
Oh, wow.
So I left the school district and went into corporate America. I was still working while doing dialysis, raising my kids, all that fun stuff. And I got a call one day from the government, Social Security office, basically telling me I was making too much money.
Okay.
And I was either going to have to leave my job, or my job was going to have to take me on and cover my insurance and everything. And that just was not something I was able to afford to do at that time. So I walked away from corporate America. I retired early, I like to say. And I went into like this really deep, dark, depressing time in my life, trying to figure out where I was wrong. At the time I was married, so I was trying to talk to my husband, like, how are we going to do this? I don't know what this looks like, because I've been independent too long to know what it looks like to do nothing. But luckily, my kids were active in sports, and I began volunteering with their sports teams. And that led me and my husband at that time to start our own nonprofit. And it was Elite Sports and Mentoring. He handled the sports side. I did the mentoring.
Nice.
It was fun. I got to go into the high school, volunteer with the CTE classes, the business courses, and like it tapped me back into entrepreneurship a little bit, because I was helping these students see like where they could realistically be if they applied their skills in 5 years and 10 years, or even at that moment. And it just kind of, I don't know, it opened up something I guess was encapsulated inside of me. It just kind of opened it up, and I started Sustainable Solutions, and I just started helping entrepreneurs, and I loved it. I still love it.
Okay, great. I'm sure these entrepreneurs are glad to have you lead and guide them.
Thank you. Luckily, I have a lot of resources, so I'm not the only person leading and guiding them. But it's great to connect them. On our Sustainable Solutions side, there's this golden plug on my logo, because I think it's about connecting people to what's going to help fuel them to the next leg of their journey. Even if that's not me, it's making sure that they have what they need. So, yeah.
That sounds pretty cool. Golden plug. Yes. Okay, so what is your vision and your mission with Sustainable Solutions?
Originally, it was just to, how do I put it? Just to help businesses. Like, I didn't have a financial model. I wasn't charging anyone. Like, it was really just, you have a business, you need some help. Okay, fine then. Let's see what we can do. So the mission was just to empower individuals who were around me in my community, who looked like me, who lived like me, to have some sort of freedom or knowledge when it came to their business and not be stuck, because I understand sometimes there's one little thing stopping you from something great or something bigger. If I could just help people remove some barriers, they could sort of like see their way forward. So the mission is really just to help people see their way forward, and not just for you, but like for a lasting legacy. The same thing that my parents were able to show me, like just pay it forward.
Right. More like the word generational wealth.
Yeah.
So you're an entrepreneur. Your parents were entrepreneurs in the past. You are one of the founding temples of Benton Harbor Wallstreet. Tell us about that. How did that come to be?
Okay. Well, this was in the wake of Trayvon Martin. I have an amazing, diverse group of friends who are not ashamed to use their voices. We are activists. We always trying to find a way to allow other people to stand on our shoulders, not so much us. And we were trying to figure out something to do in the community to just raise awareness to what was happening, because it's happened in our community as well. So we decided to do, at that time, a die-in, and we organized this community event. We did it downtown Benton Harbor in City Center Park, and we worked with all the organizations around, and it was really like this dynamic time. We marched, we called out names, and we read all of the names of the unsolved murders in our own community as well, because it was just about honoring them and also bringing awareness. But after that event, it was like something's missing. Like, there needs to be some call to action. You know what I mean? Like, something needs to happen as a result of this. Like, there needs to be a way that we can come together. And like I said, my friend group is diverse. So we had some people who were very militant. We had some people who were very just hopeful. And then some of us, just unifiers. So it was really a conversation on, we can empower each other in this way and in this way. And one of the largest ways we could do that was economically. With our buying power. So we were like, there are so many Black businesses around here that we need to support. And of course, I'm all for Black businesses. I had other friends who were all about Black education at school. So it became, at least on Fridays, let's encourage people to buy Black.
Okay.
So if there's a gas station, if there's a store, if there's something you need, only spend your money with Black businesses on Fridays.
Nice.
And we still live to that.
Okay.
So we created this page. We invited all of the local businesses to join the page. We were like, hey, just come here, advertise here. This is our group. This is your group. Just say what you're doing. If we're organized and if we're getting together in the community, you'll know exactly where we're meeting based off this page, based off how we work together. So it was really dope. It really kind of sprung from Trayvon Martin.
Okay, that is awesome. Now, you started Sustainable Solutions to help entrepreneurs, and currently you're the executive director for the Emerge Innovation Hub. Tell us how you got into that role.
Yeah, it was nothing but God. Like, I don't even know how else to say that. Like, this has always been a dream for me to help entrepreneurs. I mean, like, it was almost like there's a story in the Bible about Joseph. And just all of the adversity he had to go through to get to what he dreamed of early on in his life. And after I received my transplant, so with stage 4 renal failure, I did 16 years of dialysis.
Wow, 16 is a lot.
16 is a lot. And it wasn't always sweet, as we symbolize 16 with. But somewhere along the line, I ended up running for office in 2020 through 2021. And while I was running for office, I received a call that I was going to receive a transplant. And yesterday was actually my 3-year anniversary.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you for actually receiving that transplant. And it's just been an amazing journey since. I was very unsure with myself of what I was going to do, what my next steps were going to be. And I just kind of was going heavy in politics. And I bumped into some people and I ended up going to a class. And as a result of taking a class called CPI, Career Pathway Institute, it was with Mosaic. The executive director and the president of the organization sort of sought me out and created a position for me in their organization. And I ended up being the community engagement director for Mosaic CCDA. But going into this, I was very clear, like I'm an entrepreneur. I'll be here. I'll help. I'll do what I can. It's for the community. Why not? Maybe it will help me grow. But I had no idea how it would help me grow. From there, I ended up going and becoming the communications director. And from there, I merged over into Emerge Innovation Hub, which was a nonprofit that was started to help bring resources and plug in entrepreneurs that were under-resourced and BIPOC entrepreneurs so that they could just be good. They could just be healthy and they could contribute to their communities and be a part of that economic empowerment. And it was like that Joseph dream, like everything like kind of coming into fruition. And I never imagined the journey would go this route, but I definitely feel like my steps were ordered and just kind of laid out for me to just walk.
Okay. So then from 2015, where you created Our Sustainable Solutions, and part of your logo is the plug, and you're currently plugging into entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Would you say that this is your passion and your purpose?
Yes.
Definitely. Okay. Now, recently you just had your 4th annual pitch competition.
We did.
So I had the opportunity to come and check it out, and it was amazing. So how does it feel when you see these entrepreneurs? Because you have 2 categories. Let's talk about the categories.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming. First of all, it was a pleasure to have you there and support the Nows Hub of Emerge Innovation Hub. The categories were emerging. Emerging businesses are businesses who are in that incubation period. Like I'm just starting off, I have an idea, or I've started and I'm stuck. Like I can't get to that next plateau and I need a little bit of help. And I feel this funding will help me get where I need to be in this way. The accelerated category is really just businesses who are making over 25K annually. You're looking to scale and grow your business, but you may not exactly know how yet, or you may know how, you just can't afford it. You need a little bit of income to help push you in that direction. So those are the two categories.
Okay, and so you had like 3 winners for each category, which I thought was amazing. So it's like 6 entrepreneurs, period, came out of this pitch competition with cold hard cash, right? So
Yeah.
I was really amazed. So I'm like, this is amazing. So that has to, like, how do you feel when you see these entrepreneurs who put in hard work, pitch, get awarded cash? How does that make you feel?
I mean, phenomenal. First of all, big shouts, like big, huge shouts of gratitude to Whirlpool Corporation. They partner with us and they are part of our ecosystem. And they gifted Emerge Innovation Hub with $50,000 to give out to these entrepreneurs and to put this on.
Nice.
And it's just phenomenal to see these businesses come in on that very first day, nervous, maybe knowing some people in the room, maybe not knowing some people in the room. But at the end, like those who barely could use their voices didn't know how and where to give it their all. Like just to see them standing tall, knowledgeable, empowered, speaking up for their businesses and creating that audience, you know what I mean? Building that brand. That was amazing.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
And
Yeah.
how many participants did you have?
So we had almost over 30 applicants.
Okay.
And it was a drooling 2-week period for them to weed out who the top 6 would be. But each category ended up with 6 individuals in it.
Okay.
Yeah, and we walk away with 6 winners altogether.
Right.
So yeah.
3 in each category.
Yeah.
So let's see, you had, from what I remember, you had a doula who won. You had someone with gluten-free baked goods who won. You had
Both out of the Nows Hub.
Yep. Whoop, whoop. We also had, let's see, a transportation person.
Yes.
I think an esthetician.
Yes, an esthetician, Chelsea Allure.
You had someone in media.
We did DG Media Productions. It's Myron Guidry. So I'll do the top 3 of each category, so I'm not missing anyone because I know I can just go ahead and go straight through that. But in the emerging category, the top winner was Jamal Hatfield. He is the owner and operator of Stop Procrastinating the Message. Phenomenal young man, very driven. Second place was Kelly Breen. Amazing young woman. She is a change maker in her own right. She is the owner and operator of Mahogany Maternity. Change maker in her own right, as I said. And third place was Glenda Bell. And Glenda is amazing. She owns Harbor City Transportation, and she does a phenomenal job. And she's been at it for a while, since the pandemic.
Yeah, I want to say that's what made her start the business. Yes.
And the accelerated, the winner was, oh my goodness, Madrina Barnes with Question and Answers Baked Goods. I just can't wait to see her stuff on the shelves. I can't. The second place winner was, my goodness, James Hyde with Hyde's Lifestyle Taekwondo. He was there. His students were there. Some of their families were there. And it was amazing to see that organization blessed because they're looking for bigger space. They've just grown, and it's something that the kids in the community are gravitating to.
Okay.
And third place was, oh, goodness gracious. Third place was Chelsea Allure, the esthetician, Chelsea Williams with Chelsea's Allure. And she does permanent makeup for those who have really dealt with any sort of health issue that may have taken away hair. She helps replace. Yeah, so her business is awesome as well.
Yes, so congratulations to all those entrepreneurs. Let's move on to, I know you were serving, do you still serve as planning commissioner for the city of Benton Harbor?
I do. I am the secretary for the Planning Commission.
Okay, you also still sit on the board for Corwell Health?
Yes.
And you've been on numerous boards, basically, and you've been on the NAACP Twin Cities chapter.
Correct.
Berrien County Democratic Party.
Yes.
Fresh Start Initiative.
Yes.
And I'm sure many, many more. So tell us, how important is it to be involved in your community and be engaged in your community and be on boards like this?
I think it's everything because we all have something to say. And a lot of times I may have to sit in rooms that may be uncomfortable and no one looks like me or sounds like me, but it's important that we're all in those rooms.
Yes.
When I'm there, I'm not just sitting for me. I'm sitting for everybody that's coming behind me or everyone that just needs a listening ear to figure out what's happening. That's how we pay it forward. It's very important that we take steps that even if you aren't political, that you at least know who shares your values. You at least know what's going on in your community and ways you can volunteer and be involved and just be a good steward of the life that you have and make it better for the people who are sharing it with you and coming behind you. I cannot remember the quote, but it goes something like, plant seeds for trees you will never be able to see grow. But those seeds are important. You know what I mean? Exactly. I don't know whose quote that is. It's not mine. But we should all be there just to plant those seeds of goodness, of hope. For me, it's economic empowerment. It's family. It's belief. It's God. It's, we should all be a good steward. And these are boards that I'm passionate about. For instance, Corwell, I'm with the Health and Wellness Center on their board. But it's important to me because of all of the health issues that I've had to face as a Black woman, and not necessarily having someone in the room who could really articulate for me the research that had to go into that. I became a patient advocate. If you were new to dialysis, you just didn't want to sit by yourself, I would just come sit with you. Or, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I would answer your questions. I would come visit you in the hospital, not even knowing you, but because the doctor may have texted me and asked me to do it, or one of the nurses. It's like navigating health as a Black woman is scary.
I'm sure. Yes, definitely. Especially when you don't know, but you've done it. So you have that long, extensive knowledge and experience, I'm sure, sitting by yourself in the unknown and.
Yeah, it's a scary place to be in. Even I remember there was an instance I was sitting next to an older lady at dialysis, and she was blind, so she couldn't see. But you're sitting right across from me. But she was asking for help. Mm-hmm. And there was a lady sitting over at her desk who could hear her asking for help, but ignored her. Wow. So I had to call the lady by her name. And that may not have been much, but something that small is how you use your voice. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, I won't say her name now, but like, hey, I know you hear her calling you. She's right here. And she just really, I think she wanted water or something. Like, it was very simple. But you have to be present for people. And some days I just pray to even maybe just be present with myself. But it's important to be there. It's important to use your voice, especially in something you understand or you're passionate about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's then move into self-care.
Okay.
What do you do for yourself? I know with mental health days. What do you do for yourself?
From time to time when I needed therapy, it's been one of the biggest tools in my life. And as I was taught of, so natural, so spiritual. Church, God.
Church, definitely, yes.
Those are all a part of my health and what I use just to put tools in my life to help me work at living better. Right. But other things I do for health, the spa, trips, hair, nails, lashes. I'm looking rough right now, but baby, I like to get together and go nowhere or go somewhere
because it makes you feel good.
Yeah. So yeah, I take time out for myself. The biggest expense that I do for myself in times of health is travel. I make goals. It may be right now I'm trying to purchase a home, but like last year was one trip a month.
Oh, a month. Okay.
Last year was one trip a month, and it worked until it didn't work because my goals changed and I need to buy this house.
Okay, but you had to pivot.
Yes, but
do change.
Yes, but travel, makeup.
I can go with you with travel.
You can go with me travel.
Just make me feel good. You walk past the mirror, be like, "Oh, girl."
Yes.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I know that part right there.
It needs to be the gym. It's not. It needs to be the gym.
Well, let me just say this last 3 weeks, because they're doing a challenge at the Y. It's like a lazy man challenge. So you got to do so many swim dash rowing hours. I think it was like 24. It was 4,000 meters rowing or swimming. Okay. It was 112 miles on the bike and 26 miles walking/running.
Oh my God.
You have 4 weeks to do it in. I'm a tired sister, let me just say. Because I'm in my last week. I got 5 hours left on the bike. And I got like 12 hours left on the run walk.
You doing it.
I got to finish it before Saturday. So it's kind of like,
You got it.
That's the plan.
You got
That's
this.
The plan.
You got this.
I'm in the home stretch, right?
Yeah, because you down.
Exactly.
5 hours?
I got 5 hours on the bike left to go out of 112, and I got 10 hours left walking/running out of 26. So I'm over halfway.
You got this.
And the rowing I did in a week, so I'm like, with the back muscles, like, ooh. Yeah.
See, I need to get like you. There are times when the gym is it for me, but I'm not in that season right now.
In seasons, that's key.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned therapy. A lot of people don't think, because that mindset as they were raised up that you shouldn't talk about your issues. How important is therapy?
Woo, child. I would not be where I am today without having that safe space to be unpacked and do the work. You know what I mean? And be challenged to do the work. That was major in my transformation. Coming from 16 years of dialysis, of yes, there's hope. Yes, there's faith. Yes, I'm going to fight. But at the same time, okay, I fought. We won. What do I do now?
Okay.
Am I good enough to be here now? Like that I had a lot of
low
internal,
self-esteem.
I wouldn't say low self-esteem. I think I would say imposter syndrome, like that lack of self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
I was just not aware of who I am anymore. I had to fight to get who I was back. Like I had to rebuild that relationship with that version of myself. I kind of let go when I had to be in a fight.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But now that I had won the fight, it's like I'm returning home from war. Like there was a lot of
internal battles.
Yeah, internal PTSD just from being in a fight so long. And now what do I do with my life? And am I doing the right thing? What is my purpose now? That therapy helps me figure out what course I needed to be on. It helps me figure out what trauma I needed to work through first.
Yeah.
Like it gave me this safe, guided approach to freedom.
Exactly. And you're peeling back the layers and there's no set time to do it in.
No, it's not. And there may be times I feel like what I needed right now in therapy, I got. Mm-hmm. And I feel good with where I am. I just need to continue to do this work. And I may not go back for 2 or 3 years. Something may trigger something. Yeah,
yes.
And I'm like, oh, goodness, I'm having feelings and I'm not processing this correctly. I need to maybe talk to someone. And even going through therapy helped me realize I may need to talk to someone because I'm feeling unbalanced right now.
Part.
I
think a lot of people don't realize, or they just try to deal with it in their own way.
Hell yeah. Can I cuss? Can I say hell?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah. You can't solely rely on yourself. This is not that. It takes, for me, it takes a higher power because there's a standard, a certain rule book, a certain power that I would like my life to be within that line, to be in that light. So there's God for me. Mm-hmm. And then there is the me that he made in his image, the God that's in me that I have to honor as well.
Right.
My temple, my mind, my body, what I'm eating, which may be why I need to go to the gym. However, therapy just really helped me be in alignment with my purpose. And it wasn't because I was just sitting on a couch. It was because of the guided work that came with the therapy, if that makes sense.
It does indeed. But look at you now. You are working in your purpose and you are a true rock star. Let me just say it. I've been watching you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So are you.
Well, thank
I'm
you,
in good company.
Most definitely. Okay, so let's talk about barriers. Have you had to encounter any barriers outside of, we talked about the 16 years of dialysis. Mm-hmm. Are there any other barriers that you've had to encounter in your journey to get you where you are today?
Of course. Goodness. Abusive relationships, motherhood as a single mom. I was on public assistance. There were a lot of barriers I had to overcome. Seriously, it's a lot. Where you want to start?
No,
We only got an hour, girl.
Look, I just okay because I just want people to understand that despite of where you are, where you've been, and where you are now, there are barriers, but you have to overcome those barriers.
Yeah, and it's not for anyone to do for you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I think a lot of times in our community, not saying we're always looking for a handout, but a lot of times in our community, we're looking for the easy way out.
Yes.
And it doesn't come to you easily. It comes through growth. It comes through you taking a look and saying, okay, those steps were hard. But as I look back over where I came from, like, oh my God, I'm so happy I am where I am right now, because no one signs up for food stamps thinking I want food stamps forever.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? No one, it was hard, but God.
Amen.
I had a tribe. I had a support system. I had a mother, a grandmother who were tremendous, who are tremendous in my life. Okay. So there were a lot of barriers, but even when I was in the abusive relationships and I wanted to cut people off, my family was like, "We're not going nowhere. We here. We got you.
Amen. That's
Tighten up.
Good to have that support. Yes.
Tighten
What's
up.
wrong with you, girl?
Yeah.
We didn't treat you to be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
No, I understand. Yes. So, how important? We mentioned pivot. You said you like to travel, and now you're looking for a house. But even in life general, how often do you have to pivot? And is pivoting normal?
I pivot every day, baby. It depends. Every day, baby. It just really depends on, honestly, what the circumstance is. It may be something, we all have plans. It's great to plan. It's great to be organized. Some people organize their day. Some people organize their week. I just live by my calendar. But meetings cancel. Yes. Grants that I'm looking for may not come through. I have one child now who just wanted to stay home from campus this year and do school from home because Texas was too far.
Okay.
Yeah, goodness. You pivot every day, but the goal is just to know that if plan A doesn't work, plan B can work. Plan C can work. Just don't give up.
And don't get frustrated.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You're going to get frustrated.
But you don't know how to handle
Don't get lost in the emotions.
Yes.
Right. Don't get lost in the emotions of that moment. Understand it's just a moment. There's going to be another moment. Just make sure you play your cards right so that next moment you putting yourself in the best position to win.
Exactly. So how important is it to challenge yourself?
It's very important to challenge yourself and to grow. And I think within measure, and depends on what's on your plate. Just, challenge yourself to grow. And you may have a big growth. Just make sure that if I want to be here in a month, make sure you're planning out what you need to do in those weeks and those days to get you to where you need to be in a month.
But make it realistic.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If you have a big goal, just make sure that you have some stepping points, some benchmarks in between getting there. It makes it a lot more attainable.
Now, how important is it to have mentors or coaches?
It's very important. I have countless mentors and coaches. I have mentors and coaches as friends, and I am a mentor and coach to my friends in just day-to-day life. Now, in what we do with Emerge Innovation Hub, if you do have a business, we do have free mentoring and free coaching because it's important that you have that accountability partner, and not just that accountability partner, but that guided measure to help you get to where you need to be. If we could all just solve all of our own problems, the world would be a really horrible place. It's great because there's nothing like that human connection and getting to know someone and sharing your story and growing. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is, most definitely. Always good. And when you think you're not going in the right direction, or maybe you just need that extra motivation or a different set of eyes to give you a different perspective on what you're thinking. Absolutely.
That encouragement. Yes. Even if you have to encourage yourself, but still, that encouragement is monumental. Also, it's important to celebrate those wins.
Yes.
And good coaches are going to applaud you and tell you how wonderful you're doing. And it's important to have people in your life who can help you celebrate your wins, because sometimes as you're walking and doing the work, you don't even notice you're winning. You don't even know that you took another step. You know what I mean? Right. So, yeah.
Now, you mentioned having a positive circle of friends, your tribe around you. So who's in your tribe? Mentors, coaches, accountability partners. Who's in your circle?
Of course, as they say, my man, my man, my man. My significant other, my parents, my children, especially my older children. I have 2 in their 20s, and they hold me to the fire, honey. My circle of my very close friends, my sisters, my brother, people who just showed me how to have mutual respect for people and their opinions. So my people, my granny, my people.
Granny, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned your kids a couple of times. So you have 4 children.
I do.
Your babies are twins, the 20-year-olds you just spoke of.
Yes. My oldest is 20. He'll be 23. He is a senior in college at Wayne State. My daughter is 20. Well, technically she'll be 20 in a couple weeks. She is the child at TSU, and I have twins that are my miracle babies that I had on dialysis. I know, and they are juniors in high school.
Get out. So, how has being an entrepreneur or just being busy affected your family life, being a single parent and everything?
There were times when I really had to figure out balance. But for me, I think I went to a conference one time and a woman explained it perfectly. Like, they're just balls you just have to juggle. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you just have to just be cognitive that there are some things going on in life, but there are other balls, like these glass balls, you just can't drop. Even if you're juggling, you cannot drop these particular balls. And luckily, like I said, that tribe, they stepped all the way in, especially during the dialysis years. They stepped all the way in and at times taught me how to be a better parent, helped me to be a better parent. So showing up, like I told you earlier, even if one of my kids calls, like I'm going to turn my phone on silent, but if they call, I'm probably still going to answer the phone, being present for them, celebrating
Did y'all hear
them.
that? She was going to interrupt my podcast to answer her phone because her kids was calling, right?
And is.
Okay.
Because there are so many young women who are also going to be single moms. Like, you get what I'm saying? And that's just the reality of the situation. And at the end of the day, your kids have to come first.
Right.
It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I could be talking to the press, like, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. My kids are going to come first. And that took a lot of boundary setting. And then, if it's something small, text me. I'll text you right back. But you know what I mean?
Yes.
But you never know.
Right.
And God entrusted me with them. So
Yes.
I'm trying my very best to be as present as I can. And I'm not the best at it. I'm
We're
not
not.
always present. You know what I mean? There are
It's
times.
learning.
Yeah, there were times when I dropped the ball. There were times when I couldn't come out my room for a day or two. Remember when I first got diagnosed, I couldn't even remember their names. I knew they were mine, but I didn't even know who they were. So I take great pride and joy in being their mom.
I was just messing with you. Yes, when my
Listen.
child comes, I'll be like, I'm in a meeting. Is it important? I'll call you when I'm done. So yeah, I understand. I mean, just with having one, because if something happens, you got 4. I only got 1. I'm like, are you okay? Do I need to call you now?
It's scary out here.
Or that time when he called me 3 times back to back.
Oh yeah, get that.
He said, "What's for dinner?" You done called me 3 times and asked me what's for dinner, boy.
I get that. I get the 6 calls. Can you cash at me? Can you Apple Pay me? Can y'all go to work?
Right. Just experience what I experienced.
Right.
So, okay. What is your why? Why do you do what you do?
To be honest with you, that changes from time to time. But right now, my why is because I can.
Okay.
And who gonna stop me?
That part.
So
Yes.
I'm gonna do all I can while I can. Because I can. I'm just gonna try it. Like, life is a gift. And sitting there watching, like, friends pass away who sat next to me during that fight, like, you know what I mean? That 16-year fight. Like, I get to live life. I get to do things. I don't care. I just do it because I can.
Yes, and we should.
Yeah.
What drives you to keep going when it gets really tough?
That varies too on the day. But mostly Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ. Like, I can do all things. Yes, I'm tired. Let me just be kind to myself and take a nap today. Maybe I can't do it this moment, but I can get to it. I can do it tomorrow. Let me meditate on it. I can build up some strength. I can do all things. Like, no matter what you're feeling, it's just a feeling. I need to allow myself to feel it.
Right.
No matter what I'm going through, I'm just going through it. I need to allow myself to go through it. whatever I need to learn, I can learn it. I need to give myself the time and the grace to learn it.
Right.
Like, I can do all things.
Exactly. And that's a good way to look at it. Yes, definitely. I didn't look at it like that, but I will from here on out.
Thank you.
You are welcome. What's non-negotiable for you?
The culture.
Uh-huh. Yep. I got you. Okay. What would you say are the top 3 skills needed to be a successful entrepreneur?
Ooh. Faith.
Okay.
Connections and resources. Like, you have to network. Knowledge.
Knowledge is power. All day long.
Continue to build your library. I think all types of books are tools. It doesn't matter what you're reading. You don't know what's going to help you connect in the room.
Okay. Speaking of reading and knowledge, so what's your favorite book? What's your go-to book? What's your reference book other than the Bible? Because that should be number 1.
Oh my goodness. Anything John C. Maxwell. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. It's like
What is it?
21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Anything John C. Maxwell.
Okay.
My goodness. Yeah, I'm going to just stick with John C. Maxwell.
Okay.
I was thinking about Who Moved My Cheese because that's a really good one,
That's a
too.
good one, yes.
But 21, John C. Maxwell. Anything from John C. Maxwell.
Okay. Now, who has been your greatest inspiration?
My mom. She's like the epitome of what we used to call all hustle, no luck. Like, just as the kids say, she get it out the mud. It don't matter. At her age right now, she's going to use whatever gift she got to just get it done. She's like the epitome of entrepreneur, of wisdom, of faith, of love, of kindness in adversity. Like, she's everything.
And I'm sure to see her move with all of that you mentioned is like, yes.
Yes. Like, she, now she's always baked for us all of our lives, and no matter where we went, somebody like, are you cooking candy? Bring, I don't care if it's a peach cobbler, baby, just bring a cake, bring something sweet. Like, she's it. But growing up, she did hair. She was a beautician. And she was the one that was booked like a month. Like, you couldn't get to her. Like she was booked, but she was also a first lady. She was just amazing. But when I went away to college, my mother was like, I can't do hair forever. So she switched fields and she became a real estate agent.
Oh, wow.
Then she was the top grossing Black real estate agent in Southwest Michigan. Then she became a broker. And baby, she bad. She just bad.
Go, Mom.
She's just bad, baby.
Look, shout out to Mom. Okay. What are 3 words to describe you?
Driven, love. I don't know the 3rd word to describe me.
Come
I
on,
just don't
Ambie.
know.
All that you do. Come on.
I don't know. I do passionate.
Passionate. Okay.
Yeah. Like, I was thinking, like, I don't know, some adjectives, like, I just think you shouldn't use for yourself. So I don't know.
It's how you feel, right? As long as it's not one of those
Humble
egotistical,
today.
prideful type of.
Humble today. Yeah. That's good enough.
Okay, that's fine. Now, I call these my fast 5 as we're wrapping up.
Okay.
You mentioned you like to travel. So if you can go anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Rome.
Rome. Okay. Have you been there before?
No.
On your bucket list?
Yes.
Okay. Now, once again, in travel, would you prefer a tropical getaway or a trip in the mountains?
Tropical.
If you could be a Disney character for a day, who would you be?
Belle.
Okay. If you could change your name, what would it be?
Not Ambie. Listen,
Ambie, what?
It would just be what
Ambie?
it is.
Okay.
I think my daddy did good.
All right. And, okay, so then let's talk about that. No, let me do this 5th question. Because I need to know how Ambie came to be. If you could meet your celebrity crush, who would it be?
I guess Morris Chestnut.
Morris is cool. Would you say sexy chocolate?
He's special.
Okay. Now let's go back to Ambie. How did the name Ambie come to be?
That, from what I know, I have an aunt who is a retired dean of language for Morgan State, and she goes on missionary trips every year. And apparently she was in Africa, and there was a family who had a daughter, and they named her Ambie, and she thought it was the most beautiful name, and she was telling my dad about it. And their story, his story, I guess it means beautiful blackness, or
Okay.
because of the color. But I don't even know if we used the correct enunciation. But my dad loved it, and so he named me that. My family calls me Danny, which is Danielle. My name is Ambie Danielle, but my family calls me Danny. But yeah, I wouldn't change it at all.
Okay.
I love
Very
it.
good. Ambie, it is. If you were to write a book about yourself, how would you name it and why?
The journey to freedom.
Okay. I like that.
And probably because I just been living out loud all of my life, and I think there's power in that. I've never really allowed anyone to really put me in a box. So yeah, my whole life I've just been journeying to get free and freedom for everyone else.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so what's next for Ambie?
Currently, just a lot of expansion in terms of Emerge. That has been really fascinating. Helping more entrepreneurs find freedom in their businesses and connecting them to resources, and relocating. So I believe I'll be stepping down as a planning commissioner at the end of the year, and looking to kind of get more involved on the state level.
Oh,
And seeing what that looks like.
all right.
Yeah, freeing up some time to do so and be a good steward there, and finding more ways to keep my people free, especially in terms of businesses and entrepreneurship for BIPOC and under-resourced and underserved entrepreneur and communities like ours.
And I appreciate everything that you do to help the community, the business owners, just to get the resources and connections that they need to move forward and scale up and grow.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think 2025 is on the Emerge front, it's going to be more of that, but also more of that one-on-one, walking alongside people and holding them accountable for being present in their own businesses.
Yes.
Because I think it's something about not making people work their businesses, but just holding them to the fire, having those special checkpoints. Like, people show up more, and it's amazing to see somebody show up for themselves.
Yes.
Like, that's magical to me. So 2025 for me really is going to be about more accountability and support for the entrepreneurs, making sure that they feel safe. But for me, it'll be more growth and bringing more awareness to what it is that we're doing, and
Like
how our
entrepreneurs,
how our entrepreneurs in this region need to grow.
Okay. Now, I ask all my guests, what is your definition of a boss?
Somebody just creating a path and making a wave and riding it, their own wave, not getting in nobody else's way, just doing what you do to the best of your ability.
I like that. I should have recorded that. Okay. Ambie, do you have any last remarks?
No, if y'all looking for me, y'all got a business idea, if y'all trying to grow, if you got anything going on and you need some help, you need some guidance, you need a resource, please hit us up. Go to the Emerge website. That's why we're here. We're here to serve you. And if you are looking to grow in your own life, tap into connections and find someone to talk to. Don't get stuck. Don't get in your own way. Keep journeying till you really are just walking in freedom.
Okay. Now, contact information. What's the website, social media?
Sure. So www.emergeinnovationhub.org. And if you're looking for us, you can email us at engage@emergeinnovationhub.org. Yeah, we're here. You can set up an appointment for a one-on-one because you a boss too.
Yes, indeed. Most definitely. You heard it right there. Ambie Bell, Director of Emerge Innovation Hub. I want to thank you for taking the time out to share your journey and your story with us and our listeners today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. Please leave a review and let me know how I'm doing. You can follow me on Facebook at A Journey with Women Who Boss Up. My website is www.bossup.com, or you can email me at womenwhobossup@gmail.com. Until next time, everyone take care.